A lot of people questioned what happened to the money that was raided. That's interesting choice of words. That was raised, during, you had Band Aid in England, and then you had the American version, and it must have raised a lot of money, millions. And even now, when the record are being played, Feed the World, Didn't Know It's Christmas, etc., and We Are the World, the royalties, still, accumulating. What's happened to it? Well, it will shock you, first of all, how it came about, all the stars coming together. It wasn't really altruism. When they found out who was going to be there, then suddenly, oh, I'll support it. It wasn't. You have to look at the Netflix documentary, "We Are the World," and how they got together. In other words, if it wasn't a star studied togetherness, they wouldn't have done it. It was only because stars were there and they felt that they were celebrity. They felt that they were important. They didn't want to miss out. Hence why they supported Feed the World. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it. Same thing with the British band, same as Americans. They were all out for themselves. Well, if Eric Clapton's there, if Tina Turner's there, if Michael Jackson's there, if Prince's gonna be there, if Quincy is gonna direct it, but I want to be on the money. I want to be it. It will create my celebrity status, give me street cred. That's the only reason why they did it. So already the will was not there. The will to help African starvation wasn't there. The will was not there. What happened to the money? Well, the will was not there either. Because even though you show these starving kids, pregnant women couldn't even breastfeed, find milk to feed their babies. The corrupt government made sure that the money went towards arming, conflicting sides. It went towards arms. Can you imagine how it happened? I don't know. But one thing I do know, there is no way the British government and the American government is going to allow any cheap musician to have enough power that you can make changes, whether politically or economically, in any country. No government will give you that mandate to have enough power that you can change the discourse of any country. Can you imagine if you had the power to influence Gaza, Palestine, the danger that would impose on the Western imperialism or those who want to control and dominate the world? They're not going to allow it. There's no way. The government must have known that all the hard work, musicians coming together, normal people like me, buy the records, they must have known there's no way he was going to end up in Ethiopia. They must have known that the corrupt governments will make sure they seize that money and it would go into arms, guns, and killing each other. In other words, the people continue being starving. Should the celebrities being able to make changes, positive changes in politics, the government would have come up with something. Do you remember when Louis Farrakhan received 5 billion from Colonel Gaddafi, 5 billion to pretend that slavery was not towards Africans, was not in operation or in practice in Darfur. And Colonel Gaddafi, I think it's Colonel Gaddafi or Saddam Hussein, I think it was Gaddafi, offered Louis Farrakhan 5 billion. The American government stopped Louis Farrakhan from receiving 5 billion. You don't own your bank account. You think you own it, but you don't. The government, they can money launder. The government, they can wheel and deal in drugs. They can do whatever they want. You know, which is why well, I won't go too controversial, but they can go to Jeffrey Epstein's island whenever they want and do whatever dirty business. But you're a slave to their system. You can't make any changes in any country unless they give you license. So people really thinking by singing a few songs, you're going to feed Africa if the government does not want it to be fed. Now look at the situation and where you know something, there's enough crooked government there, they won't allow it. So we don't have to worry. We can continue smoking a cigarette and drinking champagne. And they're right. They're right. The money went towards arms. You know, not even a cent of it went towards feeding the starving Africans. And it's funny, ever since then, that's the reason why people no longer believed in giving money to charities. I think it started off with Ethiopia. People thought, where's all that money gone to? Where's all that money gone to? But even if Africa had positive governments, positive, do you think that the government, America, Britain, do you think they would allow musicians to cure starvation? And do you think they'd allow musicians to make that positive change? Celebrities have no power. Singing a few ditties is nothing. I mean, you know why celebrities talk shit? Oh, I believe in world peace. All I want us to love each other. Celebrities know they have no power whatsoever, apart from promoting Freemasons. That's all they've got. They've got no power, apart from self-worship. The government would strip you. Look after John Lennon. Look what happened to John Lennon and Martin Luther King. When you start to really let people think, then you will be taken out. These celebrities are nothing more than self-worshipping. You know, even from Beyonce doing her black salute, Black Lives Matter, she's playing games. They're playing games with you. They have no power. They're just trying to keep themselves necessary, keep themselves in the media. So all these celebrities pretend they're raising money for Africa. They're lying. They're there to keep themselves necessary, keep themselves worshipped, being worshipped. As I said, the only reason they did it was because they knew all the celebrities were turning up and they didn't want to miss out. It was nothing to do with raising money for starving Africans, nothing. And if the government knew that by them doing that, it was going to cause a positive change in Ethiopia, you really think the government would allow it? The government would come up with some kind of clause that says, well, you can't do that. Starvations all over the world is designed. It's designed by the government, and until people realize you will be controlled.